I belong to International Society of Krishna Consciousness, and simultaneously I am also working as a professor at IIT Kanpur. In 2010, I was given a responsibility to manage a school that was established by our founder acharya. There you see that we have a school with 300 plus students. Basically, we emphasize in the school value-based education, spiritual values. When I started taking over the school, I brought in around 5 IIT graduates who have been working in different places, but have been associated with the organization, and they had a commitment to give back to the society. So, with a selfless attitude, they came, joined the institute, and the school is affiliated to ICSC. We have many other schools, and ISKCON has not really taken off strongly into education. It is taking time. But this is, we have overwhelming response from the parent community, parents particularly, because the way their kids change their lives, the way of looking at the world, the way they interact with their friends, their parents. So all these things are very, very important. So what we have actually done is that we are different from the normal schools. If you look at in any normal school, you have history that is taught for understanding the human behavior. You have physics or science taught to understand the phenomenal world. You have mathematics to quantify the world around you, the experience around you. You have language for communication to convey your message to others. You have human creativity. So different aspects we actually deal is that we have nothing to do with that. So how are we different? Before I go to that, you see that, the school system is going on. Even in spite of that, we have a lot of crises. We have crisis of global warming, environmental crisis, energy problem, climatic disorder, food security, food safety. This is number one problem, facing the entire world or globe. So we are talking about the out-of-the-box thinking. Is that out-of-the-box thinking will really help to solve all this problem? What we do within our school, in addition to teaching all this problem, we want to make our boys be grounded in spiritual values. So the point is, creative thinking must emerge from the foundation of inner tranquility and sheer compassion for all living beings. If our kids or the individuals do not develop a compassion for all the living beings, like for example in the modern situation, there are varieties of stream, whether it is plant community, aquatics community, hills, rivers, the water bodies, the birds, the animals. There is a synergetic, there is a symbiotic relationship among them, and hardly we are aware of it. My wife told me around 4 months back, there was a question asked to the kids in campus school within IIT. The question was, from where do we get the milk? And the overwhelming answer was that we get the milk from the sock. So this kind of kids we have now, they have completely different from the real world. So in that sense, if you see there, we are creating a revolutionary idea. Any revolutionary idea must take into account the synergy among all forms of species, including rivers, hills, forests, and water bodies. And in that context, in our Gurukula, all our teachers, we are trying to make them selfless. spiritually grounded, looking at everything connected to the absolute truth. In that sense, we have a responsibility for each other. Not only human society will not survive if there are other societies are also not taken care of, whether it is plant bodies, aquatic bodies and other forms. So in that sense, our education is very holistic, and in that context, I will go very fast. We have taken 60 acres of land, and you see that in the 60 acres of land, not only we are building a new campus for our Gurukula kids, we want to create a very natural environment, and we have given that as a Vrindaranyam. You can talk it as a botanical garden. You see a lot of water bodies inside, natural forest, and very natural schools also, small cottage-like schools where kids can be grounded into the day-to-day thinking in terms of with the environment. Where do they live? How they help each other? The microbes, they eat the soil, and the soil becomes fertile. The plants eat it. They give us food. And then the bees, they go and pollinate the plants, and then the growth increases. There is so many varieties of living entities they are involved in our day-to-day existence. This kind of thinking must be increased in our day-to-day. And in this regard, this campus also we are taking towards a full-fledged university. So in that sense, some of the key areas we have focused in this education model is green energy, sustainable organic farming, cow protection, nature-friendly science technology, and particularly the knowledge generation about all this before we can actually create a proper vocational university. So what we are actually looking at? We are looking at a model education system. If we can actually establish it and we can show that this really works. And particularly our model is meant for the Braj area. All of you might have heard about Vrindavan, or the Braj area where Krishna performed his pastime. People go to the Braj area because the local people are not at all at proper level. So their health aspect, the agriculture aspect, everything we want to work with all this Braj area people, empower the village kids, village boys and girls, and make a system work. And that is our goal. Thank you very much.